The 5 best truck engines that last forever, the ones that will run 1,000,000 miles and then some. That is what we are getting into today. Let me tell you, I have been under the hood of just about everything with a badge on the grill, and most of what they build now is not fit to talk about in the same breath as these 5. There are engines out there that a man can lean on for 20, 30 years, and there are engines that will leave you stranded on the shoulder before the loan is even paid off. Today we are talking about the first kind, the iron that refuses to quit. Now I have been doing this the better part of 40 years, and in that time I have watched the whole business change, and not for the better if you ask me. The old trucks were built to last. You could set a wrench on a bolt and actually turn it. The new ones are locked down, computerized, and half of them are designed to be thrown away when the warranty runs out. But every so often a manufacturer got it right, and when they did, they built something that would outlive the man who bought it. Those are the engines I want to put in front of you today. Here is the thing you have to understand before we start counting them down. A long-lasting engine is not about horsepower, and it is not about how fast it gets you to the stoplight. It is about the bones. It is about a thick cast iron block, forged internals, a stroke that makes torque down low where the work gets done, and a design simple enough that a fellow with a set of hand tools and a Saturday afternoon can keep it alive. That is the recipe. Every engine on this list has it in one form or another, and I am going to show you exactly where. I'm Earl, and I've been obsessed with cars and tinkering the better part of my life, so if that's your kind of talk, consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always change your mind later. So grab a cup of coffee and settle in, because we are counting down the 5 truck engines I trust to run forever, starting at number 5 and working our way to the one that actually turned 1,000,000 and change on the clock. Let us get right into it. Number 5, the Ford 300 inline 6, the 4.9 liter, and if you grew up around farms or job sites, you already know this one by the sound of it. Ford built this engine from 1965 all the way to 1996, better than 30 years on the same basic design, and that alone ought to tell you something. When a company keeps building the same motor for 3 decades, it is not because they are lazy. It is because they got it right the first time and there was no reason to mess with it. This engine went into F-Series trucks, into the vans, into the early Broncos, and it went into more work fleets than I could ever count. Now let me tell you why this thing is bulletproof. It is a long stroke inline 6 with a thick cast iron block, and it rides on 7 main bearings. 7. Most 6s of the day made do with 4, and here was Ford putting a main bearing between every throw of the crank, the same way you build a heavy-duty industrial engine that is meant to run all day under load. That crank is supported so well it barely knows it is spinning. The valve train is a simple overhead valve setup, push rods and rockers, nothing exotic, nothing to go wrong. Early ones made about 101 horsepower and around 283 pound-feet of torque, and later versions climbed up toward 150 horse once they got fuel injection in 1987. But horsepower was never the point of this engine. The point was torque and where it made it. This motor made its muscle down around 1,600 revolutions per minute, right off idle, which is exactly where a working truck lives. You did not have to wind it out, you just let it lug, and it pulled like a tractor, which is exactly what folks call it, a tractor engine. I have seen these things go well past 300,000 miles on original internals, and I have personally known of a couple that crossed 500,000 with nothing more than tune-ups and honest oil changes. They do not build them like they used to, and the 300 is Exhibit A. Simple, torquey, and near impossible to kill. That is why it earns number 5. Let me give you a little more on why this old 6 refuses to die, because the details matter. That long stroke I mentioned does 2 things. It makes torque, yes, but it also means the piston is not screaming up and down at high speed, even when you are cruising. So the rings and the cylinder walls just do not see the wear that a short stroke high winder does. The timing was run by a gear drive on the early motors, gear to gear, no belt and no chain to stretch or snap, and a gear drive will outlast the truck it is bolted into. And because Ford put this engine in industrial applications too, in wood chippers and pumps and generators, it was designed from the start to run at a steady load for hours without complaint. When you take an engine built for that kind of duty and you drop it into a pickup that only works a few hours a day, you have got a motor that will practically never see the end of its natural life. I have pulled valve covers on 300S with 250,000 miles on them and found the insides looking clean enough to eat off of. That is the mark of an engine built honest. Number 4, the Toyota 2UZ-FE, the 4.7-liter V8. And I know some of you are going to raise an eyebrow at me putting a Toyota on a truck engine list. But let me tell you, if you have ever actually torn one of these down, you would not be surprised at all. Toyota built this engine from 1998 to 2009, and they put it in the Sequoia, the Land Cruiser, and the Tundra. The Land Cruiser is the one that tells the story best. That is a truck people take into the middle of nowhere, across deserts and mountains, places where a breakdown is not an inconvenience, it is a genuine emergency. And Toyota built this V8 to make sure that call never came. Here's how they did it. The block is cast iron, good and stout, and on top of it sit aluminum heads with double overhead cams and 32 valves. Now that is a more modern layout than the old Ford 6, but Toyota did not chase big numbers with it, they chased margin. The whole engine is built with a cushion, everything a size heavier than it strictly needs to be. It put out 271 horsepower and 3 13-pound-feet of torque, honest numbers, nothing wild, and because it was never strung out to the ragged edge, it just did not wear. These engines are famous for two things they refuse to do. They refuse to overheat, and they refuse to burn oil. You can put 250,000 miles on one of these and pull the dipstick, and it still reads full. Now, I will give you one word of caution on this one because I am an honest man and I do not soft soap you. The 2UZ uses a timing belt, not a chain, and that belt has to be replaced on the interval, usually around 90,000 miles. You skip that, the belt lets go, and you can do real damage. But here's the thing, that is a known job, a scheduled job, a couple $100 in an afternoon. Do that one piece of maintenance on schedule and this engine will run past 300,000 without blinking, and there are plenty out there that have gone 400,000 and more. It is over-engineered in the best possible way, and that is why it takes number 4. And let me tell you what really sets this Toyota apart in my book, because it is a thing you cannot see on a spec sheet. It is the cooling. So many engines die not from wear, but from heat, from a marginal cooling system that runs right on the edge and then loses the fight on a hot day pulling a grade. Toyota did not build the 2UZ that way. They gave it a cooling system with real margin, big passages, a stout water pump, and a thermostat setup that keeps everything in the sweet spot whether you are crawling through the desert or idling in traffic. Heat is the enemy of every engine ever built, and the motor that manages its heat is the motor that lasts. On top of that, the iron block and the aluminum heads are matched so the whole thing warms up and cools down without tearing itself apart at the gasket, which is exactly why you almost never hear of a head gasket letting go on one of these. The Land Cruiser reputation, the one where folks in the roughest corners of the world will pay double for a Toyota because they know it will get them home. A big piece of that reputation was earned by this very engine. When your life depends on the truck starting, this is the V8 you want up front. Number 3, the Cummins 5.9-liter, the inline 6 that Dodge and Ram bolted into their trucks. And now we are getting into the heavy iron, the real diesel legends. Let me tell you, when Dodge partnered up with Cummins back in 1989, they changed the whole game. Before that, a diesel pickup was kind of a curiosity. After that, it was a serious tool. Cummins built this 5.9 from 1989 all the way to 2007, and folks who know diesels will talk your ear off about it because there is a lot to talk about. Start with the architecture, because this is the heart of why it lasts. It is an inline 6, which is the naturally balanced layout, smooth as glass, with no need for balanced shafts to iron things out. The block is heavy cast iron, and inside it are forged steel connecting rods. The good stuff, the parts that let this engine take boost and abuse and keep on going. Now there are two versions that folks argue about around the shop. The early one, from 1989 to 1998, is the 12-valve, and that is the one the purists love because it is mechanically injected, meaning there is barely any electronics on it at all. A rotary pump, or the legendary P7100 inline pump on the earlier ones, and mechanical everything. You can fix that engine in a field with hand tools. It will start when the batteries are half dead and the temperature is below zero. Then from around 2003 to 2007 came the 24-valve common rail version, which added modern high-pressure injection and cleaned up the manners quite a bit while keeping the same tough bottom end. Both of them routinely run past 300,000 miles, and that is just the ones that get regular use. Let me tell you why the inline six layout matters so much for longevity, because it is not just about being smooth. In an inline six, the firing pulses balance each other out naturally, so the crankshaft is not being twisted and hammered the way it is in a V configuration. Less stress on the crank and the main bearings means those parts last and last. And Cummins built this engine for commercial and agricultural work first, for the kind of duty where a motor might run 10 or 12 hours a day. So when you put it in a pickup, you are getting an engine that thinks a hard day of towing is a light warm-up. The cylinder walls are thick, there is plenty of iron everywhere you look, and the fueling on the mechanical 12 valve is so simple that a fellow who knows what he is doing can rebuild the injection pump on a workbench. But let me give you the number that will stop you cold. There is a fellow named Howard Clayton who drove his 2000 Dodge Ram with the Cummins under the hood to 2.6 million miles. Read that back, 2.6 million, on the original block. That is not a truck, that is a monument. That is why the Cummins 5.9 sits at number 3, and honestly, some days I think about bumping it higher. Number 2, the Ford 7.3-liter Power Stroke V8 diesel. And if you spend any time at all around the diesel crowd, you know this engine carries a nickname that says it all. They call it the million-mile motor. Ford built the 7.3 Power Stroke from 1994 to 2003, and it went under the hood of the F250 and F350 Super Duty trucks, the ones people actually put to work hauling and towing and pulling for a living. This is the engine that a lot of old-timers, myself included, will point to as the high water mark for a Ford diesel. Everything after it got more complicated and, in my honest opinion, less trustworthy. Let me walk you through why this one is built like a bank vault. Cast iron block, forged steel connecting rods, and hydraulic lifters that took the guesswork out of valve lash. It made around 275 horsepower and a stout 525 pound-feet of torque in its later years, and it made that torque in a lazy, unstressed way that meant nothing inside was ever working too hard. That is the secret to long life right there. An engine that lopes at its work lasts 3 times longer than one straining at the edge of what it can do. The 7.3 lopes. It never feels busy, no matter what you have got hooked to the trailer hitch. There is one more thing about the 7.3 that I have got to point out, because it is the kind of detail that separates a long-lasting engine from a disposable one. This motor used a hydraulically actuated, electronically controlled injection system, but the guts of it, the block and the rotating assembly, were pure old-school heavy-duty. The oil galleries are generous, the oil pump moves plenty of volume, and this engine lives and dies on clean oil more than almost anything else. Keep good oil in it, keep the filters fresh, and there is very little inside that will ever wear out. The camshaft rides in the block the traditional way. The rods are forged and will take far more power than the factory ever asked of them, and the whole thing was tuned from the factory to run conservative, well within its limits. That is a recipe for an engine that goes and goes. Now here's a number for you. Ford built more than 2 million of these engines over the years, so this is not some rare unicorn you have to hunt for. They are everywhere, and a huge share of them have rolled past 500,000 miles and just kept going. I have worked on plenty that were pushing toward the million mark that gave the nickname its name. The reason is simple. It is mechanically robust, it is not choked with fragile emissions gear the way the later trucks are, and just about everything on it can be serviced by a competent hand in a home shop. It is simpler and flat out more reliable than every Power Stroke that came after it. That combination of toughness, honest power, and everyday fixability is why the 7.3 earns the number 2 spot on this list. And now we come to it, number 1, the 6.6-liter LBZ Duramax V8, and this is the one that honors the title of this whole video, because this is the engine that actually turned 1.2 million miles in the real world. Let me tell you about this motor, because it is special, and it is special for reasons that go beyond just the big number on the odometer. General Motors, working with Isuzu on the design, put the Duramax in the Chevy Silverado HD and the GMC Sierra HD, and the LBZ is one particular version of it that has taken on almost a mythical standing among diesel folks. Here's the first thing you need to know. The LBZ was only built for 2 model years, 2006 and 2007, 2 years. That is it. And that short run is a big part of why guys hunt these trucks down today and pay a premium when they find a clean one. But it is not just scarcity that makes it special, it is what it is. This engine put out 360 horsepower and a massive 650 pound-feet of torque, real, usable, tow-anything grunt. It ran a Bosch common rail injection system, high pressure and precise, and it sat on a strong bottom end that could take that power and the tuning that folks love to throw at these things. The LBZ hit a sweet spot. It came right before the tighter emissions equipment arrived and started choking these engines down, so it has the muscle and the toughness without all the extra complication bolted on afterward. Now let me tell you the story that puts this engine at the top of the whole list. There is a couple, Hugh and Tammy Pennington, and they drove their Silverado with the LBZ Duramax in it, 1.2 million miles over about 7 years. Think about what that means for a second. That is roughly 170,000 miles a year, year after year after year, on one engine. That is the kind of duty cycle that turns most motors into a pile of scrap in short order, and this Duramax just kept turning. It kept the couple rolling and earning mile after mile after mile, and it wrote its name into the record books doing it. That is not a marketing claim off a brochure. That is a real truck, a real family, and a real million and change on the clock. So why does the LBZ last like that? It comes back to everything I told you at the top of this video. It is a stout, deep-skirted block. It has got good hardware inside it, and it was built right in that window before the engineers were forced to pile on all the extra emissions gear that adds heat and complication and failure points. It makes its power without straining, it runs cool, and it responds to good maintenance the way a thoroughbred responds to good feed. Take care of one of these, and it will take care of you for longer than you would believe possible. That is why the 6.6 LBZ Duramax is my number one, the engine that earned the crown and the million-mile title fair and square. So there you have it, the 5 truck engines I trust to run forever. Let me run them back for you one more time so they stick. Number 5, the Ford 300 Inline 6, the tractor engine with 7 main bearings that pulls like a mule off idle. Number 4, the Toyota 2 UZFE 4.7 V8, over-engineered to the point that it refuses to overheat or burn a drop of oil. Number 3, the Cummins 5.9, the inline 6 legend that carried one man to 2.6 million miles. Number 2, the Ford 7.3 Power Stroke, the million-mile motor that loafs where others strain. And number 1, the 6.6 LBZ Duramax, the 2-year wonder that actually rolled up 1.2 million real miles under a working family. Here's the thing I want you to take away from all of this. Every single one of these engines shares the same DNA. Thick iron, honest internals, torque down low, and a design simple enough and stout enough that it was never trying to be more than it was. That is the whole secret. The manufacturers know how to build engines that last. They have proven it over and over with the 5 you just heard about. The question is whether they still want to, or whether they would rather sell you a new truck every few years. You already know where I stand on that one. If you got something out of this today, do me a favor and stick around, because I have got a lot more of these under my belt, and I love nothing more than passing it along to folks who actually care about the iron. They do not build them like they used to, that much is true. But the good ones are still out there, still running, still earning, and now you know exactly which ones to go looking for. This is Earl telling you what the dealers never will, and I will see you on the next one.